Hi Pisces, welcome to How I Love Tarot. This is your January 2023 monthly reading. Spirit, may I have the present position for Pisces for January 2023, please? Can I have the present position? Okay. We've got the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Six of Wands in reverse. That's for the present position. Spirit, may I have the strength for Pisces, please? Thank you. We have the Eight of Cups and the Two of Swords. Anything else in the strength, Spirit? Anything else in the strength? We have the Empress in reverse, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Tower in the strength. May I please have the challenge for January 2023 for Pisces, please? Oh man, Pisces, this is a new deck, so it is seasoned, so to speak, but the problem is that the cards are so new that they end up clumping together. So you'll see me put the cards back because the energy is not flipping them. Spirit, may have the challenge for January 2023 for Pisces. Okay, Spirit does want me to take that. We have the Ace of Wands in the reverse and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Can I have the outcome? What's good in the outcome? What does Pisces need to know? What will motivate them? What will help them make the decisions? What will inspire them, Spirit? Holy cow. All right. We've got the Hermit. We've got the Three of Cups in reverse. We've got the Ten of Pentacles in the upright position. And we've got the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so I can feel this energy, Pisces. Kind of didn't need the cards, but the cards are verifying what I was already picking up for you. So now, for those of you that don't know me, I'm a psychic and a medium, and what that means is I read a little bit differently than the tarot that you're probably used to on YouTube. When I read, it's important that you validate that this reading is for you. Do not take bits and pieces of the reading. Either this reading is going to be for you or it is not. Now, the way to know that is to resonate, meaning to identify with the present position. So if the present position doesn't make sense to you, one of two things may be happening. The first, this is just not your reading. You can move on, find another reader. Come back to me at another time. The second is that you're watching the reading too early. So I am working with the spirit world, right? They're predicting the future. They're talking about a possibility for the future and what you're going through. So, and I'm talking about January 2023. Now, if you're watching this, I don't know, the 31st of December, January hasn't happened. So you may not resonate with the present position because the present position may not have happened yet. It may happen on the 5th of January. It may happen on the 31st of January. And just to give you some insight, whenever I do my own readings, meaning for my horoscope, it never makes sense to me, ever. And I always feel like, well, what the hell does this mean? And then I will watch the reading at the very end of the month or sometimes halfway through the next month, and everything has come to pass. And so that is probably the best way to not only look at my readings, but for many of the really good readers that are definitely identify as clairvoyant or mediums, that's probably the best way to look at those readings. So what I have here in the present position is the Knight of Swords in the upright. Then I have the Nine of Swords in the upright. Then I have the Eight of Swords in the upright and the Six of Wands in the reverse. So there is a lot on your mind currently. You are very much contemplating something. You're wanting to appear strong and gallant, and you're really, I hate to say it, but you're putting on a brave face. Here in the Knight of Swords, this card represents being ambitious, action-oriented, driven to succeed, fast thinking, defending beliefs, right? So there's that air of like charging ahead, dealing with adversity that's coming your way or that you have just experienced in a way that is not going to show any type of weakness, right? You're charging ahead. You're moving forward through that adversity. You are going to make it through the storm. Now, I say this because that's what you're showing other people. That is, according to this, the next cards underneath it, that is not what's going on within your soul, within your mind, when you have quiet time, when you're on your when you're in your bed sleeping, when you're driving in your car, when you're working. There is a lot on your mind. Here in the Nine of Swords, this card represents anxiety, worry, fear, depression, nightmares, insomnia, hopelessness, trauma, despair. You're getting triggered about something. You're really there's a lot of power in your thoughts right now, and you know there's a need for strength. There's a need for compassion to yourself, to others. There's a sense of completion because you want to be optimistic, but you are suffering right now, right? And so here in the next card, right, sword energy is very mental energy. And here, that's what we have in your present position, right? We have the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords. Very, very mental energy. Now, what this means is that, you know, I'm a doctor, Pisces. I'm a psychologist. And one of the things that people misunderstand or misconstrue is anxiety and worry. Now, most people don't have a desire to worry about nothing, right? When things are going great, we do. Even if you're a natural worrier, even if you naturally have, let's say, anxiety and panic attacks or even PTSD in your history, it's still, when things are going right, all of your fear and anxiety and your thinking goes down, right? You're just kind of living and being in the moment. So what is misconstrued is the fact that when we worry, we're worrying for nothing. That is not true. When we are worrying, it's because something has happened in our lives and we need to resolve the issue. So we're trying to find a solution. So we're thinking through things, okay? We're trying to find meaning. We're trying to find a way forward. We're trying to let go, right? And kind of let go of that mental energy. And so, you know, with the sword energy, it shows here that something has happened that's quite major for you. Now, in the Eight of Swords, what we have here is this negative thoughts, right? So what's, you know, we have these intrusive thoughts that are coming through. Like I said, it shows here that you were probably triggered by something. So something has happened in your life. And even though it's independent of the past, what's happening is that you're thinking a lot about the past. There's this kind of, I'm hearing the words of, you know, kind of not again, and very negative, self-defeating self-talk at times, right? I feel this teeter-totter. So you're going in extremes. You're either very positive or you're negative, right? And you're trying to balance out that energy. So what we have here is negative thoughts, self-imposed restriction, right, upon yourself, self-imprisonment, victim mentality, entrapment. So these thoughts are really taking a hold of you, right? It's kind of bringing you down. And I'm going to talk to you about that as we come towards the end and how to kind of break free from this, because you are going to, I see you breaking free from it. But, you know, when it's happening, it does feel all-consuming and overwhelming. Here in the Six of Wands, we, let me tell you this, I probably should have started off with this, but I do see an extremely strong outcome. So even though what feels like the beginning of January starts off extremely challenging with a lot going on in your mind, it does resolve itself by the end of January. That to me is extremely clear. So please bear with me and don't turn off just because it's not what you want to hear. Here in the Six of Wands, in the reverse, what we have is this feeling internally, struggling with your inner resources, feeling overwhelmed, kind of moody, on edge, a little bit defensive, a little bit paranoid, very exhausted emotionally. There's fatigue here, both physically and emotionally, and there's suddenly a lack of motivation to do anything. So you might be slipping into a little bit of a funk as you deal with whatever has happened and you're processing that. Okay, so that's a present position. If you don't identify with it, like I said, come back at the end of the month or even the middle of next month and look at the reading to get clarity, or just it's not your reading, right? Just move on. Here in the Strength position, what we have is the Eight of Cups in the upright, and we have the Two of Swords, right, in the upright. So in the Eight of Cups, we have disappointment, abandonment, withdrawing, escapism, walking away, leaving behind the past. And so in the Strength position, what you're trying to do is make decisions, right? Here, the Two of Swords, but you're blindfolded, right? So these are very, very difficult decisions because you're weighing out your options. There's a sense of avoidance in a way, right? There's a sense of wanting to change, needing to change, thinking that, kind of knowing and taking responsibility. But at the same time, you're thinking how disappointed you feel, right? You're feeling that, the emotional abandonment. You're feeling, the way to cope with it is the way you always cope with it, right? Escapism, walking away as if it doesn't hurt, leaving it behind, just like, there's a perception here that you've been left behind, but that is not true. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But very difficult, but showing up in your Strength position. So let me just get more information about that. So it's a process, right? So in your Strength position, also here we have the Empress. The Empress is in the reverse. So whenever I get this kind of energy in the Strength position, what it tells me is that there's a shift of consciousness taking place in your life, Pisces. And what that means is there are certain things that happen to us, and sometimes it's a straw that breaks the camel's back. Sometimes it doesn't have to be this big event, but it causes this kind of domino effect, or this kind of I can't even think of it, but it causes this effect, kind of like a house of cards falling down, right? Where the illusion is broken and you're faced with reality, you're faced with the truth. And so whenever somebody's going through a shift of consciousness, it is something that is, it's always darkest before the dawn. And when you are going through this level of self-reflection and deep insight, if you are brave enough to look at the truth, right? Because it's not about the person, place, or situation. It is about you. It is about understanding what it is that you want, what you need, and what you're willing to do to get it. And so it is a very powerful thing that you're going through right now. So with the Empress in reverse, we've got creative block, feeling selfish, right? Impatient, dependent on others, right? So you may be at work and kind of not pulling your weight, or you may be around others where you're usually always giving and you're like, sod it, I don't feel like doing this. So there's again, it's showing up in the Strength though, but there's kind of like some kind of funk that you're going through. There's a lack of concentration, there's indecisiveness, you're feeling overwhelmed. Again, anxiety is coming up. And there's a feeling of infidelity here too. So one of the things that you're exploring, if this has to do with a person, is the person cheating on you? Did they cheat on you? Did they leave you for someone else? Or should I don't feel like it's you leaving them for somebody else. I feel like, you know, one of the things that you're exploring in your mind, and this is causing a lot of pain, this is causing a lot of hurt. If I could recommend, put the brakes on that, right? It's showing up in the strength position because these are things that challenges within the mind that you have to overcome. And you can't keep going down the same road and thinking about things the same way when it's sitting in the strength position, right? You got to overcome this, and not through ambivalence, not through things like, well, if they did cheat, then I don't care, right? You do care, otherwise you wouldn't be suffering like this. What it is more like not even entertaining the idea that someone cheated unless you have evidence, right? If you have evidence, then you have evidence, right? And then this wouldn't be showing up in the way that it is. But the likelihood is, the way I'm feeling it, there's no cheating going on here. There's no third party. There's absolutely no third party energy in any part of this reading. Okay, in the strength position too, and let me explain what the strength position is for those of you that have never seen me before. You don't have to do anything with the strength. The strength is your strength that's going to show up for you in the month, and you don't have to do anything about it, right? It's just there. It's your nature. It's a part of who you are. And so what we have here to round up the strength position is we have the Seven of Pentacles and we have the Tower. And so what you're doing here in the strength position with the Seven of Pentacles is that you're regaining understanding about the choices and the responsibility and the hidden secrets within you. There's, you're looking at a long-term view of what it is that you want, where you're putting your time and energy to. What are you persevering and why? You're looking at what are you getting out of it, right? You're putting in a lot of time and energy into something, one aspect of something, and you got nothing you're getting very little in return, right? And so now this thing, when you first got into it, and for some of you, because it's the Seven of Pentacles, it has to do with work, right? Because it's money, it represents money. And so, it made sense to put all this time and energy or effort into investments or work or whatever it is that generated that. But, anything that you spend a lot of time in, other areas of your life are going to suffer. So it looks like you're taking responsibility for that. As you're looking at, how hard you're working, how you're persevering in one area, and if you're persevering, you're working, 80 hours a week, 60 hours a week, just for a paycheck, but your quality of life when you're not working is just, you're exhausted, you're sleeping, you're eating, you're too tired to do anything for yourself, like go to the gym or self-care, then it becomes unproductive, right? Why are you working for all this money? For what, right? Do you need it? Maybe you do, I don't know. But you can shift things around. So that's coming up very much in your energy. It does show here that you're looking at whether these results are sustainable. And according to this in the Tower, it isn't. Because we have you contemplating sudden change, upheaval, and creating chaos in your life because there's a revelation that you come to that, other areas of your life are getting destroyed because you're giving time and energy to something that that gives you something intangible. And you're ignoring where you should be putting time and energy to, which is whatever this is over here that's causing all the conflict. You want things to change, and it's going to change at your hand. It's showing up in the strength position. So it does show here that there's going to be sudden change, and there are going to be options in front of you. You are really weighing something up super seriously. Here in the challenge, as if that wasn't enough, bloody hell, Pisces, we got the Ace of Wands in the reverse. So the challenge is what you're going to struggle with in the month of January. Again, like the strength, you don't have to do anything about it. It's just the thing that you will struggle with. Now, I always put the challenge in because no day or no week or no month is without challenge. Now, how intense that challenge is, it could be anywhere from a 0, no challenge at all, to 10, right? The worst challenge you've ever faced in your life. But for most people, when I say the challenge, it's usually between a 1 and a 3, right? So if you can keep it in context, and for certain people going through a major shift of consciousness, usually the challenge is not the issue, it's the strength actually, because it takes a lot of discipline and strength to make something happen. Here in the challenge, we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. So we have delays, lack of motivation, lack of energy, lack of passion, weighed down, boredom. So there's the challenge of, how you're feeling in your downtime, and even in your busy time, you're getting this sense of, I don't have the energy to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to put my time and energy into this. This is boring the crap out of me. And here in the Knight of Wands in reverse, we have some anger, right? And we have scattered energy, and we have more delays and frustration. And so there's delays in something here. Things are not moving to a conclusion the way you want them to, because it's up to you to do something, right? So now let's get to the outcome, because I like the outcome. Having gone through what you've just gone through, there's two separate parts of this. We've got the Hermit in the upright, we've got the 3 of Cups in the reverse, and we've got the 10 of Pentacles. To me, this tells a story in the outcome, and it tells a story for me, for you, the whole 2023. This is happening in all my readings. So if you cross watch, if you look at other placements in your chart and you look at other readings, please know that even if I don't say it, the energy that I'm getting is for 2023 in these outcomes. So in the Hermit, what I have here is soul searching, introspection, contemplation, wisdom, truth seeking, being alone, independence, inner guidance, meditation, consciousness. You are going through such a shift right now, Pisces. Here we have the 3 of Cups in reverse, overindulgence, heavy partying, isolation, independence, alone time. 3's a crowd, gossip, right? So there's going to be some self-medicating with drugs or alcohol. There's going to be an overindulgence as you try and deal with some of the pain. And for some of you that don't partake in drugs and alcohol, or drugs or alcohol, it could be something else, right? You could be distracting yourself, numbing yourself in a certain way. Working is a numbing behavior. Now, you should not, keep in mind that the only way to deal with pain is to get through it. The more you numb it, the more it intensifies. So just try not to party at all, right? Try not to do that. The best thing to do is to spend some alone time and just continue to contemplate what's going on here. Now, I love this card for you. This card came out so strongly, the 10 of Pentacles here in the outcome. And what we have is wealth, financial security, family, long-term success and contribution. Ultimate completion, final manifestation, result of true will, recognition, continuation, realization, and endings. So what I have here is a reuniting with strength. 10 of Pentacles often represents coming together in partnership, in love and happiness, taking things to the next level, really committing to something, being very, very loyal, and using your ability to have that higher knowing and that power of what it is that you truly want, and not being afraid to go after it. And that is showing up so strong. That is the strongest card in this reading for you. And I felt the energy kind of really powerfully as I was dealing, and that card came out. Now, alternatively, what goes with this card, I said there was 2 layers to this outcome, is this 7 of Cups in reverse, right? So what we have here is an alignment of personal values, no longer overwhelmed by choices or a lack of purpose, or the illusion, diversion from confusion. So things, you know, so it does feel like you're going to try and kind of reach out and indulge in other things to try and distract yourself, meet other people, whatever it is, but it's empty. It's not fulfilling. It's not what you want. And so there's no wish fulfillment in there. So it strengthens your outcome and you get clarity in moving forward to find stability in a partnership. So that is very, very strong in the month of January. And it does show for me energetically by the end of January, this is manifested. So Pisces, sorry for the reading being so long and drawn out. I do want to let everybody know that I have opened up readings currently. Now you can go to www.howlovetarot.com. That's the only way to book a reading. I am a doctor, I am extremely busy, and my clients are my priority. So I hardly am ever available to do readings. And when I do open up the readings, I usually end up having an extremely long wait list. If you are interested in having a reading, please book it, because the next time that I might do a reading may be not until next year. So if you're interested, go ahead and book. For those of you where the reading really resonated, please like, subscribe, please leave your comments. It's so great to interact with you, and it does help me in these readings. Hit the bell button so you're notified every time I do a reading. You take care. You're gonna have a really good, strong 2023, Pisces, but you just got to sort this stuff out. It will resolve itself, because you are gonna make an incredible, powerful decision, and ultimately it will change the trajectory of your life. Pisces, I hope that helped, and I will speak to you soon.